Hi there, my name is Katie Smith, and this is my vocabulary learning application. Here we are going to figure out how we might design a mobile app that empowers people to learn new vocabulary. The initial step that I had to walk through was evaluating existing applications for learning vocabulary. This provided a better idea of what is already out there in the market. Through this competitive research, it allowed me to outline the positives and the negatives to help influence the design decisions for my vocabulary application. For our primary persona, this is Jennifer. Jennifer is a busy media professional who is currently growing in her career, spending spare time enrolled in online courses to obtain her degree, and she spends the remaining of her time volunteering with youth cheerleaders and walking and fitness with her fiance. The goals and motivators for Jennifer: she needs a bookmark to access information repetitively. This access will help Jennifer review so that she can memorize new words. As she has a busy schedule, she requires reminder notifications to ensure she remains engaged in the learning process daily. A structured onboarding process is also important to show Jennifer the benefits of using the application and/or the very basics of how to get started within the app. Also, a fun gamification component will definitely help Jennifer keep her interest and engagement with the app. Our problem statement identified is Jennifer, a media professional, needs a way to regularly go back to pages she is learning because she needs to access material again to help her with the learning and memorization process. We will know this to be true when we see that Jennifer can re-access all learning pages she has already viewed. Our hypothesis statement here is that we believe that by creating a bookmark icon to review a vocabulary section for Jennifer, we will achieve the ability for Jennifer to reference vocabulary again at any point and give Jennifer control over this learning process. Challenges. To quote Jennifer, "I have to write it down so I can access it and go back to it. Helps memorize, then I have to try using it." As Jennifer, a media professional, I want a review of the basic parts of language so I can relearn proper use of nouns and verbs. I want proper introduction, onboarding, navigation guidelines so I do not feel lost or frustrated within the app functionality. And I want to be able to bookmark or go back and reference what I've learned so I can review and it'll help memorize. The next step was to build initial wireframes. So now that we have identified Jennifer's persona, a problem, and the primary challenges and tasks necessary to reach a potential solution, I started to build the wireframes and a low-fidelity prototype for the vocabulary app. So here are the initial wireframe sketches. The next step was usability testing. Using the low-fidelity prototype built within Marvel, the next step was having 3 users attempt to navigate through the application and provide feedback on their experiences. This was a perfect opportunity to test what functionality worked and what didn't. This process was done through Zoom and on the phone, and users tested the app through a link to the Marvel prototype using their own desktops or laptops. The tests were approximately 10 to 15 minutes each, And the testers went through the following test cases: browsing through the onboarding and login to the app, reviewing bookmark vocabulary, adding additional vocabulary to the app, and navigating to the user profile. Feedback from user testing helped me identify improvements and/or builds to be made on the app. And because this was my first testing process with this application, it also gave me ideas around future testing. For example, some users felt that it would make more sense if it was done on the intended application. So for this case, this app was built for an iPhone. So from the feedback in the user testing, the following improvements were made to the prototype. The first one, we removed the Learning Home dropdown from the profile menu, as this was felt to be unnecessary. We also adjusted a typo on the splash page. And third one is we modified the onboarding text to make it more aesthetically pleasing to the user. Next steps for this application is I need to go back and make a higher fidelity prototype, adding images and colors and additional options. I need to continue to make additional feature improvements, add drop-downs and the drop-down options to the prototype. I also still need to build the app's gamification lesson windows and functionality, as this will be a large use of the application. I need to research any benefits or the ability to connect a dictionary or thesaurus to the application, as this came up through usability testing. And I need to conduct additional usability testing on any modification and improvements. And I will continue to do research and discover any additional functionality and improvements or app requirements. Learnings from building the vocabulary application: KISS. Keep it simple, silly. Rather than overbuilding and overanalyzing, keep the layout simple and user-friendly, as this is a learning tool. And users do not want to be overwhelmed. But also, keep it simple, silly with the process of the build. Try to build in smaller, take an agile approach in taking smaller steps to reach the desired outcome. Also allow space for criticism and critique. It's not going to be perfect the first time. Be open to this feedback to help improve the app's requirements and your process in getting there. Conduct tests with a shared screen or intended platform. Through the user's testing, it is extremely beneficial to see what the user is seeing while they are walking through the application. Since we cannot be together in the same room, it was definitely beneficial to use a platform that allowed for screen sharing to help me observe what the tester was walking through. Also, diversify participants and have quantity. Try to include as many testers as possible, including a diverse group of people that meet your user persona. And strive for continuous improvement. There will always be room for improvement. Be open to it and be mindful to it. Thank you for your time and have a lovely day.